For example, in the agricultural belt, the computers will automatically monitor and maintain the water table, soil chemistry, and coordinate the planting and harvesting of crops. Eventually, with the use of automatic inventory, materials will be supplied to the manufacturing plants throughout the nation. In this way, a balanced load economy can be maintained, eliminating shortages and overruns. Only when cybernation is integrated into all aspects of this new and dynamic culture can computers appropriately serve the needs of all people. Today, people feel threatened by the development of cybernation and artificial intelligence, and they are correct in feeling this way. The threat of losing one's job and income is very real in a monetary-based society where downsizing is profitable. Only in a resource-based economy, as proposed by the Venus Project, would new technologies be used to shorten the workday while raising the standard of living for everyone.
Some people worry that the emphasis on technology in the Venus Project is too materialistic, that it focuses too much on machines. And that would be true, except that the Venus Project focuses even more on humans and the growth and the potential that humans have that is not currently being met by our system. The project focuses on taking people out of doing day-to-day repetitive tasks and giving them the freedom to explore those parts of themselves that are very dear to their hearts, that money and making a living doesn't allow them to do.
I'm not too interested in technology, although it may seem that I advocate that. In actuality, all the wonders of technology to me are just so much junk unless it makes humans better.
So technology in the Venus Project in science is not the primary idea. Those are just the tools that are used for people to have a more complete life.
In this system, cybernation and technology will only serve to enhance people's lives. They would not be used to monitor or dictate people's activities. This would be considered counterproductive and offensive.
No one's going to come along and say, I'll make the decision for you. Centralized decisions come from control of scarce resources. I go to work at a certain time because my boss says I have to, and if I don't get paid. But in the Venus Project's idea of a common heritage of resources, none of us own any of the resources. We own all of them in common. And so the decision for how we will live our lives becomes an individual choice.
Society will continue to undergo change regardless of the dominant views of the time. Our future does not depend on our present-day beliefs or social customs, but will continue to evolve as a set of values that is appropriate to that point in time.
In the dynamic, expanding universe, all things change, from the movement of the planets to the shifting of the continents. The same process of change also occurs in all non-living and living systems. In fact, the history of civilization is the story of change, from the simple to the more complex. Unfortunately, change does not always come easily. All new inventions and innovative ideas have always been met with considerable resistance, even by the experts of the times. This includes automotive systems, aircraft, and the space program. Some of the conditions responsible for social change are limited resources, overpopulation, epidemics, natural disasters, and the technological displacement of people by machines. Change does not always occur for the better, but it is a process that occurs regardless of the dominant values of the times. Even social systems undergo change. Therefore, the only constant is change. Today, with the advent of computers, World Wide Web, cybernation, and artificial intelligence, the rate of change has been greatly accelerated throughout the world. And in the next 10 years, we will witness more changes than all of the past events in recorded history.
Perhaps one of the greatest limiting factors of our present-day culture can be traced to our language, habits, social customs, and values, which were conceived in earlier times and are no longer relevant. The proposals of the Venus Project will also be applied to education, where the subject studied will be relevant to the direction and needs of this new, evolving culture.
I would say the more we invest in human beings, in warmth, love, education, good fellowship, the more secure all our futures. We are tied in with nature and all of the environment surrounding us. To negate or neglect any part of that would be damaging to ourselves and our own age.
Although books and computers will be used in the schools of the future, most of the educational processes will be of a participatory nature, in which students will interact directly with the physical environment. They will learn by doing, in a hands-on approach, which will provide them with a better understanding of the world they live in. They will come to understand that the Earth is a fantastic place, capable of providing more than enough for the needs of everyone.
And as the technology takes over the day-to-day drudgery, we have more time to, in fact, make those decisions, more time to spend with our children, more resources to teach them and give them the experiences we want them to have. It opens up possibilities that within the infrastructures that we operate now, we as individuals can't do.
But perhaps the most important aspect of the educational approach will be the emphasis on learning how to interact effectively with others, how to share experiences, and how to allow for cultural and individual differences. This will reduce conflicts considerably and contribute to a more humane society. The problems that confront humanity today are of our own making. Our future is our responsibility and depends solely on the decisions we make today.
How come people are unemployed? How come people live in the street? And how come people need medical care and can't get it? And I know we have the technology. If we can put a man on the moon, maintain a war, maintain all this military equipment, we need a Pentagon of sanity, people who care about the Earth and all other human beings.
In the next section, Visions of the Future, we will continue to present attainable alternatives. We will explore clean, renewable energy systems, transportation, and architecture. You'll see how space stations and cities in the sea could open new dimensions in human achievements in the 21st century.